Okay, man, we back. Okay. We finna go ahead and get into it. I'm finna start off with Dodgeball, the true underdog story. You feel me? Now, when we talk about the sixth sense, right? Let me press record. When we talking about the sixth sense, man, y'all remember in Dodgeball, this clip right here, where he put on the scarf, patches O'Houlihan's scarf around his eyes, you know, and he had to use his other senses to see where his opponent was at. You feel me? Okay, let's look up sixth sense. A supposed intuitive faculty given awareness not explicable in terms of normal perception. What does it mean to have a sixth sense? An ability to know something without using the ordinary five senses of sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. My sixth sense told me something awful was going to happen. Sixth sense in a nutshell is the ability to perceive something that is not normally accessible to the five common senses. It is also called extrasensory perception, or ESP. Some examples of sixth sense: intuition, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, and psychokinesis. Alright, he used his other senses because he couldn't see. It's almost like being in the dark and finding the light. You know what I'm saying? God is the light. You feel me? So you find the light through the dark. You understand? So when he covered his eyes, you feel me, going up against global gym cobras, it's the year of the snake, right? You feel me? And that also can symbolize going up against the snakes in your life. You know what I'm saying? Weaving out the snakes, understanding the snakes in your life. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the sixth sense, I remember he was doing this with his fingers. You know what I'm saying? He had to tap into his intuitive abilities, his clairvoyance, his other senses. You understand? That's what happens when you meditate. You tap in with the body. You tap into... You can still see with your eyes closed, just to let you know. All because your eyes closed doesn't mean you don't know where you're at. You're really tapping in, and then they were really quiet, so he could basically hear everything around him. He could feel when something was about to happen without even having his eyes open or having his eyes covered. You feel me? And there's another thing too. Alright, when it comes to this movie, Patches O'Houlihan was also in Men in Black. In Patches O'Houlihan, his actual name is Rip Torn. You know what I'm saying? And he was also in Men in Black, just to let you know. And also in the movie Dodgeball, Steve the Pirate, right? You remember when Steve the Pirate, he told him he wasn't a pirate, and then he went off. It's like he started wearing regular clothes. He couldn't pretend. He was, even though he was acting like a pirate, he really felt like he was a pirate. That almost plays on really being who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Really being who you want to be. Really embodying who you really think you are. To the point to where he really was a pirate. But somebody tried to crush his dreams and make him seem like he wasn't a pirate. But the same person that told him he wasn't a pirate gave him what? Treasure.
I don't know, Steve. If you're not a pirate, who the hell am I going to split all that dirty treasure with?
Not only that, my moms used to wear a lot of bandanas. I also like bandanas too. What do y'all see right here? A pirate boat in the background. I get messages from Divine, the Most High God. When I naturally was doing these things, when these certain songs was, when I was getting downloads and these certain songs was coming to my head, I also wanted to do these things, but there was a purpose behind it. Everything I ever did on my channel, all these videos that you see, there was a purpose to them. Even when I didn't know, when I was in the unknown, of where this was gonna go. But I knew to keep faith in God in that process. Because that's what you gotta do. You gotta trust the process when you doing what you're doing. It was a boat in the background. You feel me? And also, they used to burn CDs back in the day, right? You know, my mom's burnt a lot of CDs back in the day. I even learned how to burn CDs myself, which is called piracy. You feel me? And also, Aaliyah, when I did my 1 in a Million video, y'all know Aaliyah wore a lot of bandanas as well in her videos, you know what I'm saying? And now let's go back to the global gem cobras, right? In India, snake charming. This has to do with frequency and sound, right? When it comes to snakes, whenever they grab the flute, you know what I'm saying? Whenever they grab the flute, you feel me? There's a certain frequency of sound that a snake picks up on that has them tamed. Like tamed. They won't attack. Sometimes they'll strike, but they don't stay. You feel me? It's the frequency. And then they'll shake their hand a little bit. They'll shake their hand a little bit, and they don't even move. It's almost like they're hypnotized. You know what I'm saying? It's like frequency. The frequency, the energy. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that resembles to me. I'm just gonna play a little bit of that. You feel me? And it's also about fear. You know, having faith over fear. And it also has to do with healing the body. When it comes to frequency and sound, you can heal your body through sound. You can charge yourself back up through sound. There's a such thing as sound healing that can heal the body. That, how I connected that together, I thought about this, right? When it comes to DNA, your DNA cells, your DNA is kind of twisted up like a snake, right? It's also twisted up like a snake. Now, when you think about carnal nature, the bodily, earthly, and often sensual aspects of a human's existence, often contrasted with spiritual or intellectual aspects. It can also imply a focus on physical desires and pleasures, potentially at the expense of higher values and spiritual growth. Carnal relates to the flesh, body, or physical realm, as opposed to the spirit or soul. In some religious contexts, carnal nature can be used to describe the inherent tendencies towards sin or selfishness that is seen as a consequence of humanity's fall from grace. Carnal often implies a preoccupation with or indulgence in physical pleasures, particularly sexual ones. The concept of carnal nature is frequently used to contrast the earthly, material, and sensual with the spiritual, intellectual, and moral. Okay, carnal desires might refer to strong sexual urges or an excessive focus on material possessions. Okay, that's what I mean by breaking lustful thinking, breaking lustful ways. Not just looking at a woman or a man for their body parts, but also taking a look at their mind. Is their mind alright? Are they okay? You feel me? It's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot when I broke away from certain urges and things that I used to do. You know what I'm saying? And I learned how the power of the mind really works, and the understanding of my own power that God has given me. You know what I'm saying? But there was a blockage before because of those urges that I had. But now, understanding my own power, it makes sense, you know? So when it comes to Waterboy, you know how they talked about the medulla oblongata? We gonna go to that. By the way, they was talking about crocodiles and Waterboy, right? With the medulla oblongata. Snakes are reptiles, right? So is crocodiles, right? Your medulla oblongata is the bottommost part of your brain. Its location means it's where your brain and spinal cord connect, making it a key conduit for nerves, signals to and from your body. The continuation of the spinal cord with the skull forming the lowest part of the brainstem and containing control centers of the heart and lungs. That's why I said, whenever you learn how to control your carnal nature, when you learn how to control your urges, and you heal yourself in certain ways, using either frequency, sound, exercise, eating right, your back straight. It's like your back gets replenished because the nerves in your back, they become straight. Sort of like how Moses with the snake on the staff, like you learn how to control, you learn how to tame that snake within inside you. You learn how to tame that darkness within inside you and alchemize it into light. Now you have a light body, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that as well, you know? And we're gonna talk about the year of the snake. It also can mean shedding old skin. It also can mean that, shedding old skin, old ways of thinking, you know, death and rebirth. It also can mean that as well. In symbolism, you got to think about this in symbolism. Starting January 29th and ending February 16th, 2026, symbolizing wisdom, transformation, and adaptability. The snake, as the sixth animal in the Chinese zodiac, is associated with wisdom, charm, elegance, and transformation. I even said this in a song that I recently just posted, Each and Every Moment freestyle. The wood element adds a sense of flexibility, renewal, and growth to the year. The year of the wood snake begins January 29th, 2025 and ends on February 16th, 2026, as determined by the lunar new year. The year is expected to be a time for introspection, strategic planning, and embracing positive change. People born in the year of the snake are often considered to be intuitive, strategic, and intelligent. Celebrations during the Chinese Lunar New Year include family gatherings, traditional foods, red decoration for good luck, and fireworks to drive away negative energy. Now, we're going to go to the bronze serpent. What is the bronze serpent in the Bible? Is a bronze image of a serpent placed on a pole which God commanded Moses to create as a symbol of salvation for the Israelites after they were punished with poisonous snakes for complaining. Looking at the serpent would bring healing for the snake bites, from the snake bites foreshadowing Jesus' crucifixion as a means of salvation. Context: the Israelites, after complaining against God and Moses, were punished with poisonous snakes. God instructed Moses to make a bronze serpent and place it on a pole, you know, in the symbol, anyone bitten by a snake who looked at the bronze serpent would be healed. You understand me? The bronze serpent is seen as a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ, who was lifted up on the cross. Just as looking at the serpent brought healing, looking to Jesus brings salvation. The bronze serpent, later called Nuishtan, was eventually destroyed by King Uzziah because the Israelites began to worship it as an idol. You feel me? So this is all in symbolism. Now, when it comes to what I just said, right? I did for the Chinese zodiac part. Right? I had did a video to everybody was kung fu fighting. Hiya. You know what I'm saying? I had did a video to that in front of Eve a couple months back. You feel me? So this is all interconnected. I'm trying to show you how God works in my life. You know what I'm saying? This is really interconnected. And when it comes to the medulla oblongata and the snake, you know what I'm saying? They're both reptiles. What also a snake or a cobra kind of looks like? Kind of looks like a dragon, right? I had did a video in front of China Dragon, the Chinese restaurant, a couple months back as well. So that lets you know that this was all naturally happening in divine timing. Going through the unknown. Not knowing where this was gonna go, but having fun doing it as well. You feel me? Like this was real life. This was real life. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to colors and symbolism when it comes to these things that I'm talking about. Because average Joes, You know what? Average Joe's Gym, a struggling small-time dodgeball team, faces off against the heavily favored Global Gym Purple Cobras in the championship, ultimately winning in a nail-biting and sudden death match. You feel me? The stakes. Peter is facing foreclosure on Average Joe's Gym, and the only way to save it is to win the American Dodgeball Association of America Tournament Championship against Global Gym. You feel me? So notice that in Global Gym and Average Joe's, they thought they were just some average Joes. Most of them, each one of them had a specific skill that was good for the situation. It's almost like it's like how Waterboy, how the coach knew how to tame his carnal nature, his snake-like nature, that angry type nature, learning how to alchemize that energy into good energy for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? The same thing happened in dodgeball. One of the dudes, the nerdy dude, Peter told him to alchemize that energy by like getting angry whenever he seen that woman was hollering at his wife. You know what I'm saying? Get angry, and then he took them out when it comes to the dodgeball thing. He was doing his thing. He knocking balls out the way and all that, and he went crazy. You feel me? But he ended up winning that game for them. I'm pretty sure if y'all watch that movie, go back and watch the Dodgeball, the true underdog story. You know what I'm saying? And this is all symbolism. In my videos, literally, I was naturally doing this. Straight messages straight from God, the Most High. I cannot lie to y'all about this at all. You know what I'm saying? And I got wisdom behind it. You know what I'm saying? That I can like show y'all for real. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? And then Jesus got many names. You know what I'm saying? So take it however you want to take it. How to unlock sixth sense. Developing emotional intelligence and empathy stimulates the mirror neuron system in enhancing the perception of subtle emotional cues in informed decision making. Cultivating intuition involves valuing gut feelings and subconscious knowledge, which can be fostered through journaling, lucid dreaming, and reflections. Now I have one story where back when I was younger, I was in psychology class, and I think the psychology teacher, Mr. Hillis, he was talking about like something about a certain psychologist. I think it was what's his last name? Freud, like Freud. You know what I'm saying? I think it had something to do with a bat and a nail, and it had to do with like a snake or whatever. But all I remember is saying like something that I used to have, like, you know, I had a snake dream before, and I was like in a tomb or whatever, and there was like snakes coming towards me, and I feel like that really was like a symbolism of snakes in my life trying to take away my energy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to attack my energy of who I was, my purity, my like who I am as a person. You know, that could really mean that. And I had that dream a long time ago when I was a kid. Didn't understand it until it started clicking now, like Adam Sandler. You feel me? So all this has started clicking for real, and this is just what it is. And the spinal cord is connected to your brain. So the understanding of that made me realize the energy that spreads out within your body. You know what I'm saying? It's the frequency of the sound is what heals your body if you understand that, like how sound works. When you understand how that works, you'll understand how to heal yourself. And you know, I'm just handing out the messages how I'm handing them out. That's why I said, like, when it comes to healers and people that understand how to heal themselves and how to work through shadow work and how to do these things for themselves, like loving yourself is the biggest thing that you can do to help heal yourself. And there's plenty of ways to show that you love yourself. You don't have to buy anything for yourself to actually love yourself. You can just show your body more appreciation. You can show yourself, you can show just being good to people, you know what I'm saying, giving out game that actually will lead to further progress in somebody else's life as well. So it's a lot of things I did to help with the situation, and I love y'all for just being here and just witnessing me being able to show y'all these things, and me tapping into my abilities to show y'all what I have done and how it led up to this moment. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the each and every moment video, you can tell that the energy of where I was at and everything really resembles what I'm saying right now. Everything I have said has literally been symbolism throughout the videos of what I've been talking about this whole time, and how I was able to heal my mind and heal myself. See, I was talking about this before, but I might have not been in the exact right place to talk about it. But now it's all clicking on the reason why I had to wait for certain things and say certain things at certain times. It's all about that divine timing, God's timing, universal timing, not man-made time. Divine timing. I just want to say I love y'all, man. This was a quest, you know what I'm saying? This was a really like a quest, and God is always there for me. And also, like, the spinal cord, I mean the DNA kind of looks like a staircase, like a spinning staircase too. It looks like a staircase that goes like this, you know, the spinning staircase. That's also crazy to me. On top of that, it's just a lot of different things that click in this. You feel me? And I just want to say I appreciate y'all, bro. Like, I really appreciate y'all for being here for me and understanding that, you know, God's here. You know, it's all symbolism. And also, when it comes to what I'm talking about, right? Whenever Moses, I remember watching a movie with the burning bush, and the snake was on the ground, and Moses was scared at first, and then he got over that fear and he grabbed the snake and it turned into the staff, right? It's the same thing as symbolism, which is like realism, you know what I'm saying? It's symbolism. So whenever he did that, he got over the fear and he showed that it's okay, like, God got you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you did what I said, and now you're able to go on the missions that I told you to go on. You know, it's all symbolism. It's there. You just gotta embrace it. You know what I'm saying? You can't be scared to look at yourself in the mirror and change some things. You can't be scared to look at yourself and embrace who you are, what God made you to be. Not what anybody else made you to be, what God made you to be. Now, no, not what anybody says you are, what God made you to be. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all in the next one, bro. Just take a look through my videos and you'll see how all this add up. Seriously, just pay attention to colors, symbolism, details, you know, just everything as a whole. Y'all get it. Peace out.